Rights and Immigrants' Rights Organization sent a letter to the committee raising questions about your role in what they call the Bush administration's, and this is going to be a quote from their letter, failed policies that singled out Americans and immigrants, particularly of Muslim, Arab, and South Asian backgrounds, as part of the government's post-9/11 dragnet investigations, end of quote. I certainly appreciated our conversation that we had earlier this week about your involvement in the program, and a program that targeted young men from Muslim-majority countries for law enforcement interviews out in the community, which is of particular concern of that community, as well as other surveillance activities that they've experienced over the years. So my question to you is, can you talk about your role in these programs and share for the committee what you learned from the criticisms of these programs that you would bring to the INA if you are indeed confirmed?
Thank you, Chairman. And I want to say I appreciate the meetings that I had with you and your staff about this issue. I also actually appreciate the letter. The letter did what this process should do, which is look back at episodes in a nominee's past and ask the tough questions about what role they played in those episodes and what their intentions were. I also appreciate that the two advocates that coordinated the letter actually met with me, Hamad Alam and Chris Habiby. We had a lengthy meeting yesterday, and it was I very much appreciated them taking the time, and I appreciated their approach. The approach they took. Look, it's not what people expect of DC, the sort of confrontational, agenda-driven kind of approach. Rather, it was the approach that I've received, throughout my career dealing with civil liberties groups who are questioning government operations, which is a very thoughtful discussion about the intersection of civil liberties and national security and their concerns about how things were calibrated in relation to the various policies that you just talked about. We had a very frank discussion about their concerns, and their main concern, frankly, was the one that you alluded to, that immigrant communities, minority communities after 9/11, especially those of Muslim faith, felt like they were being singled out and stigmatized by some of these programs that took place in the aftermath of 9/11. And in this case, it was 9/11 and then the Muslim communities. Today, it's COVID and the Asian communities feeling the reaction to that national crisis. And in my parents' generation, it was World War II and Japanese American communities and racism and internment. So it's an ongoing issue in our society. We talked about that, and we also talked about it specifically in relation to the interview program that you talked about. It was called